Stop complicating shit. If your goal is to build a strong lean body without obsessing and burning out, cutting and bulking are not the best options for you. So for you to actually get and stay lean, I'm breaking down why you shouldn't cut or bulk, and then I'm going to show you the new way I'm using that solves most of those issues. But first, let's look at why you shouldn't cut or bulk. So being skinny fat basically means you're under-muscled with excess body fat, and when you take your shirt off in front of people, they stare at you like they've seen a horror movie. Now, every time I started cutting to fix this, I'll always end up looking way weaker than I did before, because as you lose weight, you'd also lose a little bit of lean mass in the process. Now, building muscle whilst cutting wasn't really an option, because the very energy I needed from food to fuel my training and recovery, I'm depriving myself of it. So cutting always just exposed how under-muscled and weak I was, instead of giving me that lean physique I was hoping to get. Instead of looking like Brad Pitt from Fight Club, I'm looking like fucking Brad's armpit. Which sucks, man, because we're putting in fucking work here. Like, I'm dying, staring at cakes in supermarkets, saying no to friends on the weekends only to look worse after. It killed whatever little motivation I had, man. So although cutting would help you lose a bit of fat, the real key to fixing skinny fat comes down to putting on more muscle. And if you want the exact program I use, there'll be a free link in the description with video instructions and all of that. Like, look at this picture of Mr. Aquaman here. Now, although he isn't that lean, he has no abs or veins, but he still looks like a fucking unit, man, because he's got some meat on him. Give me 2-3 beers and I might just give him a lower back massage if he asks me to. So if putting on muscle will significantly help you fix skinny fat, should you just bulk? Now, here's the problem with bulking. There's a limit to the maximum amount of muscle you can put on within a certain time frame. Now, let's say this is all the muscle that you can realistically gain in 90 days. To build this, you need to eat in a small surplus, or like 200 calories above your maintenance calories, because anything more than that can't be used to build more muscle, because there's a limit. So the excess calories you eat will be stored as body fat. So although a lean bulk does sound good on paper, every time I tried it, I always end up in fucking McDonald's. Oh, no, I'm bulking. I always end up obese. Now, to successfully do it, you need the discipline and the mental energy to not get carried away, and you should be tracking every little calorie down, or you'll just get fatter. But that's not a way to live, man. Now, what if there was a way where you could bulk and cut at the same time? Build muscle while losing fat, where you stay motivated because you can quickly see real visible changes you want, where you're not obsessing over food and you're not burning out, but you're actually enjoying your food more. That way is a body recomposition. And I actually did it accidentally this time. So normally, I'll always try to eat as less as possible, cut out dessert, stop ordering it completely. But I thought, let me just follow exactly what I did 10 years ago to get lean the first time I did. So this time, all I thought about was, how can I eat as much quality food as possible? Because it's a lot like putting high quality oil into your car instead of some shitty, junk, cheap oil. Yes, both will work, but one will help you run smoother, perform better, and you won't randomly break down. So the high quality oil for me was high protein meals like egg sandwiches, fiber rich meals like oats, fruits, simple meals like chicken, rice, and veggies. Pretty much foods without an ingredients list. And once I started focusing on these meals, my body just functioned better. I stopped craving junk. Like, my fat fucking ass could never fight a croissant. I used to swear on the Bible that I won't eat it just to control myself, but this is the first time I felt like I had control over my cravings. Not to mention that I felt so well fed that I naturally always ate slightly below my maintenance calories without even thinking about it. I especially noticed that on the days where I skipped my evening bowl of oats, I'd be so much more inclined and craving junk further in the night, because that's how important fiber was to me to eat healthier. But the best part was, since I was eating better, I had more energy. So I was subconsciously moving more without even thinking about it. And I saw my weights go up, the reps go up in the gym every single workout session. When you just focus on trying to eat less, you're in this weak, surviving pussy state. You're not functioning at your best. But when you focus on eating more quality food, you start thriving. So how much food should you be eating so you're thriving for you to build muscle while losing fat? Well, I approach this with the sole focus of eating 250 calories below my maintenance, and for good reasons. Well, for one, if you aren't in a deficit, you won't be able to lose fat. Because if you eat 2000 calories and you burn 2000 calories, you'll stay the exact same weight. But if you start burning 2250 calories, your body needs this extra 250 calories worth of energy from somewhere. So then it starts taking it from your stored body fat to fuel that deficit, and only then will you start losing fat. But you don't want the deficit to be too big where it's robbing your energy that you need for your performance and your recovery. So 250 calories below your maintenance is the sweet spot. But I'm gonna level with you, man. In the past 30 days, I ate below that maybe 60% of the time, which did help me lose fat. But 30% of the time, I was eating at my maintenance calories, not losing any fat because I just wanted more freedom with my food. But this was still very beneficial because the more calories, the easier it is to build muscle and fix skinny fat. And about 10% of the time, especially on the weekends, I'd eat in a slight surplus because I want to fucking enjoy my weekends. Now, normally after overeating on the weekends, I'd cry, oh, I'm a fat failure, and keep eating like one. But now, I just accept it and try to use those extra calories to push myself harder in the gym to fix skinny fat. So if you look at the big picture, you're overall losing fat and building muscle because you have the energy and resources to do that. This is what a realistic diet actually looks like. You're never gonna eat perfectly eating 250 calories before. So aim for a 250 calorie deficit and try to hit that at least 60% of the time. You will eat slightly more, that's completely fine. You're at least going to use those extra calories to build muscle, which is the top priority for fixing skinny fat. If you eat like this for the next 60 days, you'd noticeably see your belly fat shrinking and your shirts will start to fit much better. Now, it's worth noting that building muscle and losing fat at the same time works particularly well under these two circumstances. One, you're new to the gym or you've been training but half-heartedly. You're not tracking your weights, you're not doing the best technique, or you're returning back after a while. Because when you belong to one of these categories, you're much more prone to make quicker gains then. And two, if you're overweight or obese, because again, your stored body fat really acts like a reserve fuel tank that your body can tap into and use to help you build more muscle. So the more fat you have on your body, the more fuel you have and the easier it is to build muscle while losing fat. But for 95% of you watching this, this is the way I'd go. So you get some quick wins, you stay motivated, and you actually stay consistent. Later, when you've already built some muscle, lost some belly fat, you're no longer skinny fat, if you feel you want to get bigger, go ahead and bulk. If you feel like you're already happy with how much muscle you have, go ahead and cut. Now, there are two unique cases where you should start with a cut or a bulk. So this is a skinny fat spectrum. You've got skinny fat on the much skinnier side, then you have proper skinny fat in the middle, and then you have skinny fat that's almost as good as obese. If you're on the extremely skinny side of skinny fat and you want to get jacked, then you need to do a 200 calorie surplus bulk, because that's what I did to go from like 40 kgs to 70. That weight is not going to hop out of thin air on your body. You need to be in a calorie surplus so you can put on that mass. And if you're on the obese side of skinny fat, you can hop onto a slightly more aggressive cut, like a 500 calorie deficit, because you got so much more stored body fat that can fuel building muscle. Plus, I think you need a quick win so you stay motivated. So once you start seeing that fat go away, that's going to benefit you the most. But ultimately, none of this is going to work if you're making the same silent mistakes I was making in the gym that kept me skinny fat for years, man. So watch this video next. I break down 30 silent mistakes you could be making. And if you fix even just one of them, it'll save you years and it'll take you from skinny fat to jack faster than I ever did.